1954 Diary of Sadie Erickson. Friday, January 1st. Said Happy New Year to the first one who phoned, and it happened to be Al Kronig. Norma went for a ride to the zoo with Al to show Jerry the animals. She was gone about 4 hours or longer and had a fruitless talk with Al. He is a hopeless creature. Ruglands came over for a while today. Sunday, January 3rd. George and I went to Salem today, but Grace and Al were not home, so he just turned around and came back. Mark had called, and we had to go out in the evening to see about Mama as she was sick. Thought she had too much rich food on Christmas week. Wednesday, January 6th. $60 from Vera this month. Saturday, January 9th. I didn't get to go to church today as I had to go out to Mama's as she was sick. Leela didn't get to go home till evening as there had been a misunderstanding. Slim and George came out in the evening to get her. Sunday, January 10th. I helped Mama clean house and did a little washing for her before I went home. George came after me and we got groceries on the way home. Stan's aunt and uncle and cousin came over this evening with them, before they were to leave tomorrow for Canada. Monday, January 11th. Another work day for George and Norma. Went to Vera's again today to stay with Linda, while Vera worked. Tuesday, January 12th. Norma and George both went to work again today. Vera and Farrell went to Bend today and brought Linda over here. She and the other children are going to be here today and tomorrow while they are gone. Wednesday, January 13th. Ethel had planned to come over and give me a permanent, but I had a little cold, so we decided against it till next week, and went to Vera's and spent the day. Norma and George both worked. Vera and Farrell came home, and the children were glad to see them. They had a good trip. We had just got the supper dishes done. We surely enjoyed having the little darlings and will miss them. Thursday, January 14th. Started a little house coat for Wendy and ironed and did a little washing. Did a little house cleaning today. We were going to Smiley's tonight, but the generator on the car wasn't working right, so we were afraid to take a chance on the lights, so didn't go. Norma and George both worked today. Friday, January 15th. Norma and George went to work and I tried to clean house, so I would be ready to go to Vera's when she came for me. Ruglands came over for water. Edith was about the same. Vera got Jerry and I to her house today with the children while she works. George came and took us to the store around 4:30 and then home. We had planned to go to Smiley's this evening, but he was so sick I decided we would go tomorrow afternoon. Leela, Chuck, Pearl and Dolly want to see them. He is pretty low. The plumber showed up today and finished up the job. Hooray! Lester and Bertha came to Vera's and sat and visited with me for an hour or so. George got the car fixed and it cost $9. Saturday, January 16th. Woke up this morning and found the ground was covered with snow. We didn't go to church because it was too hard to get the old truck out in the snow. We were planning to go see John and Winnie but couldn't because of the weather. Norma let out the waist of a new dress and partly sewed it up after sundown. It just isn't like Sabbath if we don't go to church. Little Jerry recognized a tiny picture of Jesus in a book. He is surely a sweet little guy. Finished Wendy's house coat this evening. Got a letter from Doris Gunderson today. Sunday, January 17th. Temperature, 22 degrees above this morning. More snow. George hasn't been out of the house today. Norma and I sewed all day. Also baked bread and made stew. Norma's ex-husband called and wants her to accept $1,600 as her share on the settlement. Stan came over with a book that a teacher is to pick up tomorrow. Monday, January 18th. I took care of Vera's children today. Friday, January 22nd. The plumber went over to make a couple of changes in the plumbing that the state inspector recommended. George took me to Vera's to take care of the children. We were studying the Sabbath school lesson when Norma got a call from her ex-husband. He upset us so much. It upset the rest of our study, and we had no prayer. He thought Norma shouldn't be staying here. I am sure he thinks he could come to see her if she was somewhere else. He never says anything about any money. Saturday, January 23rd. Nice day today. Went to church and enjoyed it very much. Ruglands came right after we got our lunch dishes done. Edith brought a pound cake. She looked very good. We both weighed the same. I must reduce. Went to Bessie's and spent the evening. Ethel and her family were there too. Enjoyed grape juice and sandwiches. It started to snow, so we went home about 8 o'clock. Sunday, January 24th. Painted windows and washed clothes, then had lunch and decided to go to the store. We had planned to go to Mama's but decided the roads might freeze, but went anyway for a while. She was feeling pretty good, only lonesome. Monday, January 25th. Lots of snow this morning. Went to town this morning. Got some stockings at Berg's and a soap dish and paper holder for George. It started snowing before I got him and kept up off and on, all the rest of the day. Cars had trouble going up this hill. Didn't take care of Vera's children today. She started taking care of a little boy, and may not try to work much more. Winnie called and thanked us for the chair. Big houseboy was buried today but didn't get to go. George hasn't worked since storm. Tuesday, January 26th. More snow all day. Good thing Norma wore boots to work. I worked on Jerry's coat most of the day. Norma called the lawyer, and he said she should secure a settlement soon. Wednesday, January 27th. It rained almost all day and got foggy towards evening. Washed clothes and finished Jerry's coat. George and I worked on the cost of Vera's and Farrell's house for the income tax. What a headache. Friday, January 29th. Craig was very sick tonight, and has been for several days. Went to Bessie's planning to stay there all night, but Elaine, a nurse from Ethel's and Ethel, stayed till 7 o'clock the next morning, working with him to get his temperature down. They got it down from 106 degrees to 101 degrees, which was wonderful. Was with Vera's little family again today. Saturday, January 30th. George and I went to church alone, as Norma didn't put her hair up so couldn't go. We went to see Winnie and John in the afternoon. He wasn't too well. We met Winnie's mother from Australia. Sunday, January 31st. Went to Ruglands in the evening. Monday, February 1st. Stayed with Vera's children today. Tuesday, February 2nd. George took me to Bessie's to spend the afternoon. The time went so fast. Wednesday, February 3rd. Went to spend the day with Ethel, and she gave me a nice permanent. Jerry was a pretty good boy. He enjoyed playing with Pammy so much. I didn't put him for a nap and he was so sleepy and cross. He went to sleep at dinner, so Norma put him right to bed. Thursday, February 4th. Did a washing today and a little ironing. Norma and George went to work as usual. We got 300 gallons of oil today. Had lots of phone calls today. Norma's ex-husband called in the evening. Wanted to know what was holding up the settlement. She got paid today and gave George $60 for board. Friday, February 5th. I cleaned house a little today. Mama came and had lunch with us. Lester brought her and then went to town on some business. She was feeling fair. I ordered sheet blankets from Littman Wolf's today for Norma and Jerry. I am taking a cold and had to go out in the cold wind to get groceries. We picked up the cleaning too. Norma had her green coat and suit cleaned and I had my red shorty coat done. Grandma Erickson called this afternoon and said she was lonesome. $50 from Vera today. Saturday, February 6th. My cold was bad, so George and Norma and Jerry went to church without me. George came home alone as Norma was invited to Ethel's for dinner and spent the afternoon and evening with her. George and I drove over to see Rugland's little house, but they were not home, so we spent the evening listening to the radio. Stan came by to pick up some of their things, and he had Marge along. It was nice to see her. Called Inga today, Sunday, February 7th. George and Stan put on insulation and rock lath today. Norma washed clothes and I cut a dress out for Sandra. Didn't feel so good. Beautiful day. Would like to have gone somewhere. Monday, February 8th. I washed clothes today. Norma called the lawyer from work, and he told her she would be getting $1,780 and would have to take a note for the rest. Jerry began to get croupy and got worse as night came on. It has been a nice sunshiny day, but a chilly wind blew. Tuesday, February 9th. Another nice day, only warmer. Mama's day to go to the doctor. Leela went along. Mark took them. She found out she had hardening of the arteries. Hope she can be helped. I'll call tonight and ask Norma if she was going to file for income tax. He said he had to go sign the note the next day. Norma called him again and asked him if the $1,780 included the money for the lawyer, and he said he didn't know. She also told him he hadn't given her the things she had asked for, and gave him a list of the things she wanted. He thought she was terrible to ask for them. You would. Wednesday, February 10th. Norma called the lawyer today and told him she thought she should have the $2,000 she was settling for, and certainly wouldn't take any less than the $1,780. His note is no good. Jerry has been sick all day and couldn't keep his breakfast in his stomach. Poor little fellow. We have been helping him under steam at his nap time and at night. Grandma Erickson called to see how he was. Thursday, February 11th. Norma and George worked again today. I cleaned house a little and worked on my dress in the evening. Al met Norma as she got off the bus and asked her to let him take Jerry over to his sister's to get his belated Christmas gifts. She told him he was sick and besides, he hadn't been supporting him, so didn't think he had any right to take him. He was pretty sore at her. Chris's birthday. Jerry was invited but couldn't go. Grandma Erickson called to see how Jerry was getting along. John and Selma went over to the house to see George. Friday, February 12th. Raining today but went to town anyway, as Norma didn't have to go to work, so could stay with Jerry as he was sick. I went to stay with Linda while Vera worked. George came and got me and took me to Ethel's to give Sandra's sundress to her. Then, we went to Bessie's to leave her some things and pick up Mama's glasses and take them to her and shop for our groceries. Mama was feeling pretty shaky and feeble. Vera gave me $10 toward the babysitting. Thursday, February 18th. Took care of Vera's children today. Ruglands came over today, and it rained so hard when they started to leave that we talked them into staying for dinner. After dinner, Al called and said that he had signed for the bank. Friday, February 19th. Went to Vera's today. Norma's lawyer called and said the deal was ready for a settlement. George worked on the house today. Saturday, February 20th. George and I went to church today. Sunday, February 21st. I went to Mama's and stayed all day and Norma and George came out in the evening. I enjoyed the day. George did a little plastering on the hose today too. Monday, February 22nd. Norma and Jerry went to town today and had an enjoyable day. They ate at Manning's and Jerry enjoyed it a lot. They got settled up on her settlement from Al. She got $1,573. The rest is to be paid in December. She gave me $15 on the babysitting money. George and John started the plastering on the house in general. Tuesday, February 23rd. Vera didn't work today, so I worked around home. Planted my hyacinth and crocus bulbs today. George and John finished trimming on the house today. Wednesday, February 24th. Went to Vera's today. Thursday, February 25th. Went to Vera's again. Jerry enjoys to play with Linda and Wendy. Finished Sandra's dress. Friday, February 26th. Was over to Vera's today with the girls. Baked my bread over there. George and John started the finishing of the plaster today. We went to the store after we left Vera's. Ruglands came over today, Saturday, February 27th. Bessie and children are sick the colds. The children have the croup. I stayed out of church and went over there. Bathed little Craig. Norma and George went to church. Tried to get Grandma Erickson to come out with John and Selma, but S.E. didn't want to come. Ethel, Phil, and family came over this afternoon. Connie is surely cute. We went over there in the evening. Sunday, February 28th. We cleaned house and Norma cut out a smock for a girl at work. Dad worked on the house on Roger Road till about 10 o'clock. I washed clothes too. Monday, March 1st. Went to Vera's again today. Norma worked today. George and John are finishing the plastering on Roger Road. Vera and Farrell made another $50 payment to Dad. Thursday, April 1st. Got another $50 payment from Vera and Farrell. Thursday, April 22nd. Started painting at the house on Roger Road. Friday, April 23rd. Painted today. Monday, April 26th. Painted today. Tuesday, April 27th. Painting again. Wednesday, April 28th. Painting again. Thursday, April 29th. Painted today. Friday, April 30th. Painted today. Sunday, May 2nd. Washed clothes and cleaned house. Norma went with Bessie to Seaside to see Stan's stepmother. It rained in the afternoon. Monday, May 3rd. Painted again today. Left Jerry with Vera today. Tuesday, May 4th. Painted. Has Jerry with us today. Wednesday, May 5th. Painted. I have paint poison pretty bad. We had Jerry with us all day again today. He played around the house fine. Thursday, May 6th. Painted. Vera had Jerry today. Friday, May 7th. Painted till noon, then went to Mrs. Carlton's funeral. I shopped over town afterwards and my back ached so bad I was glad to get home. Left Jerry at Ethel's and he slept all the time. Saturday, May 8th. My eye was a little swollen from paint, and my back ached so bad that I didn't go to church. We went to the auditorium to see and hear a native from the Solomon Islands. In the evening late, Ethel got Bessie to come over, and gave me a bird bath for Mother's Day from them, and Vera's family too. It is surely nice. Sandra was along. Later on, Vera and her family stopped in, on the way home from concert. Norma gave me a nice corsage and bone china cup and saucer. So pretty. We have such sweet girls. Thursday, June 3rd. We borrowed $14.12 from Norma. Thursday, September 16th. Had to give up and go to bed. I felt so bum. My side is getting worse all the time. Friday, September 17th. Still in bed. No better. Saturday, September 18th. No better. Glad to have Norma home today. Monday, September 20th. Bessie came over today. They decided to have the ambulance take me to the hospital. Hope it does me some good. Another lady came into the same room for observation by the name of Greenleaf. They took me to be x-rayed. Daddy came to the hospital. Tuesday, September 21st. Mrs. Greenleaf is a pleasant person to be in the hospital near. She may need a gallbladder operation. The doctor found I have a disc out from between my vertebrae and pinching a nerve. He thinks bed rest will cure it. Dad, Vera, and Norma came to see me. John and Selma were there too. Wednesday, September 22nd. My feet were put in traction today. It doesn't bother me much. Wanted to go home by tomorrow but decided I had better stay for a few days more. Mrs. Greenleaf had x-rays taken today. Vera ordered a cute little vase of flowers sent to me from the family. They were red roses. I love them. Thursday, September 23rd. Mrs. Greenleaf is full of stories and jokes. Her daughter comes to see her every evening. Her son-in-law is an optometrist. His name is Mattern. Mrs. Williamson came to see me, then Inga came. Ruglands came later. Bessie and George came to see me tonight. Friday, September 24th. Still bed rest. Leela brought Jessie and Irene to see me before noon. as they are leaving at 5 o'clock for airport to go to Frisco.